proper introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, right here on Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C, I am joined with Eddie of the Eddie T Band. I know people like to.
Hello, radio world.
I know people like to forget the part, but I just thought I'd put that in there. So
I appreciate it.
so appreciate you a lot to get into. So let's just get into it. How
All
did
right.
the Eddie T Band got together and start doing music?
Well, the long and short of it, I was playing in several rock bands when I was younger, and then I always had a big country influence. And to speed ahead, I had written a bunch of songs and submitted to a talent search contest, and I ended up placing as a finalist in the contest, and I had to go play for the finals, and I didn't even have a band. And so the two guys, Jeff and Rick, that got with me at the time, just kind of got with me to just help out and go do this. And we ended up placing third in the contest, and then we ended up coming home, and we entered a different radio contest, ended up placing in that, and ended up taking second in that contest. And then we got together and was like, well, we're a pretty good band. Why don't we do a record? So we did a record, and next thing you know, we found ourselves being signed to Nashville Entertainment Weekly Records and roaming around Nashville and doing our thing. So that's kind of the short of it. Was I didn't even have a band. I was the primary songwriter, and I'm a multi-instrumental, so I play a bunch of different instruments. And so I was able to make the demos myself, and that's kind of what launched us forward. And then the other guys came in the picture to help me out, and then it kind of evolved into our own voice. So,
That sounds absolutely awesome. It definitely feels. It just
it's kind
seems.
of amazing how it happened.
Yeah, just started you doing your own thing, doing a contest
Right,
here and there. It just felt like a blessing
right.
in disguise. Like just like okay,
Yeah, I mean, it really was, because I mean, we did this record and we kind of sat on it for almost a year, and we just released it this winter. We just released it, and already 8 of the songs out of the 14 songs that are on the record have already been released as singles. So we've already had them, out on the radio and making tracks. So to finally release the record and start a big, radio campaign and trying to get the music out there and get it heard, that's, it's been the main goal. But yeah, it's definitely been a blessing, the way it's all came about.
I want to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to Nashville Entertainment Weekly. I've been interviewing their clients now, and you are the latest one. Shout out to Jill. She's
Right?
awesome. I just want to say I don't know if she's listening live or maybe she will once I put it on YouTube. I just want her to know, and I've said this to her through emails and such. She's awesome. So, uh,
Right.
was it?
She is. Shout out to Jill. I mean, amazing job. Um, she's taken care of us. She's worked so hard at getting us out there and getting us heard. And yeah, I mean, kudos to Jill, because we couldn't do a lot of this stuff without her. And she's been such an integral part of making us successful.
I will say one of my favorite songs from you fellas is "Angels How to Fly." Um,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, and I just played that song about 5-10 minutes ago actually. Um,
All right. That's
so
always good. That's such a good feeling.
so definitely, given the trying times that we are in, every now and then music can help heal. Um, and I definitely like that song. And with that being said, talk about writing that song and what was it like recording it and just putting it all together.
Well, it's weird because I'm not like your average songwriter. I can't like get together and say, okay, on Tuesday I'm going to write a song. It's just hard for me. I write them when it comes to me. And for in 2009, I was my dad had cancer, and I was at home. I had to quit my job. I stayed home with him and my mom, and I took care of him. He was on a ventilator. I was running his vent for him and doing trach changes and all this stuff. And he didn't really have this quality of life. In the last 2 years of his life, he was chained to that machine. But he was like the biggest inspiration. He was my biggest fan. We were polar opposites. He was a greaser from the 50s, and I was a, long-haired rocker in the 80s. But we found common ground, like building. He taught me how to do carpentry, how to do drywall, and how to do plumbing, and how to do electrical. And I've been a tradesman. Outside of doing music, I'm certified. I'm an HVAC technician, and a lot of that came from him. And when I wrote the song, I thought, man, my dad was always the type of person that he would walk in a room if you're working on something, and he'd say, no, here, give it to me. Let me show you how to do it right, And I think so. The big compliment I could pay my dad was to write a song that, how powerful are you that when you get to heaven, you're going to tell the angels, no, that ain't the way you do it. This is how you do it. He's teaching them how to fly, because that's how he was. The song, I think, resonated with people because everybody in their life, no matter your circumstance, there's one person in your life that maybe inspired you. It doesn't have to be a father and son, a mother and daughter. It could be a nephew and an uncle, or a niece and an aunt, or vice versa, whatever have you. There's somebody, a teacher, an employer, somebody who inspired you to, go above and beyond, and everything that they taught you for the short time they were in your life has carried with you. I carry a lot of the things that like I said, we were polar opposites, but I carry a lot of the things that he taught me with me, and I see it every day in my everyday whatever I do, whether it be my mannerisms or the way I laugh or whatever. He's there, and I still live in the same house I grew up in, because now I'm at home taking care of my mom, and because I promised my dad I would, and it's just that's why I think the song resonated with people, because they can relate to the fact that there's somebody in their life that had inspired them at one point. And if I can touch them in any way with that, then I've succeeded as a songwriter.
You definitely succeeded on this record, for sure.
Thank you.
It definitely is relatable, obviously. Loved ones, family member, friends, co-workers, whatever the
Right.
case to be. I mean, we all have
Right.
lost a loved one. We lost someone that we know and love. So anytime
Right.
you hear a song like that, it's uplifting and just shows that
Right. And the feedback, yeah, the feedback from the fans has been incredible too. They've sent me such nice messages of, oh, we shared this, because or we downloaded it, or we purchased the right. I have people come to our shows now specifically to hear that song. And that to me is like the biggest compliment ever. I mean, in this day and age of people going out and doing cover songs all the time, when someone comes to your show and says, hey, that song really resonated with me, and we came to see you just for that song, that's probably the biggest compliment you can give an artist. So, yeah, I'm glad people embrace it and enjoy it, and if it can help heal them in any way, then I've done my job.
So on this show, on this platform, I do all I can to spread the word on local artists, independent artists, unsigned artists. You know, I
Right.
obviously we are all going through some things. This country's going through a lot.
Right,
Obviously you're in Nashville, still recovering from the tornadoes that happened a while back,
right,
and obviously this country is going through a crisis with the coronavirus, and
right,
everybody is being effective in some way, shape, or form. For musicians in particular, gigs get canceled, rescheduled.
right.
You as an artist, obviously, how can people support artists like yourselves in times like this? What do you think is some ways out there that people can help? When you know.
Well, it's really strange times right now with the coronavirus and like right now this weekend it's so quiet around probably everywhere because there's no gigs going on. There's everybody's, and rightfully so, everybody's postponing shows, and we got a ton of shows, scheduled for the summer. We don't know how it's going to go. We had to, luckily for me, our band took this month off because I'm actually in the studio. I produce other artists. I have my own recording studio, Hometown Hits recording studio here in Davison, Michigan. And so I'm producing a country band as we speak. As a matter of fact, they left just before I called you. And but I think the way that people can support, your local artists is because there's artists out there that do make a living playing. And when a gig gets canceled and your bills are configured in that gig, it's tough. It's like any other job. It's like getting laid off and not, for a period of time and not getting your unemployment. I mean, musicians run that risk all the time. When a gig gets canceled, there ain't nobody paying us unemployment. So the best way you could do to support is it's the internet age. It's the days of Amazon and everything else. Go on their website, order their CD, buy a T-shirt. I put a post up that actually a ton of us musicians have been sharing a post that somebody had made describing, that there's a ton of us hardworking musicians out there that rely on this money, and because we decided to make music our livelihood. And if you want to support your favorite artists, go to their website, order their CD, order a T-shirt, because that's helping them pay the bills and to keep going to provide. Our job is to help people escape from the real world for 4 hours. When we do a show at a club, we do 4 sets. It's our job to make you relax, forget about your troubles for a while, and when the entertainment that you seek to get away from your daily troubles is affected, then that's even harder, and then it's hard on the people that are trying to provide that. So to me, that would be the best way to support them. Share their posts, download their music, buy a CD, buy a download, buy a T-shirt. A lot of artists are doing bundles now to where you get, a CD, a koozie, and other sort of merchandise. So, with the way the internet is, it shouldn't be too hard for people to just, go to a website and pay $15 for a T-shirt or $10 for a CD, because you're helping that artist who is trying to make a living and support a family on their art.
Well said, Eddie. Well said. So
Thank you.
everybody can just, if you can, so support artists like him, your local artists in your neck of the woods.
Right.
I live in Kentucky. I know some artists that are affected as well. Them having gigs canceled and postponed, etc. So just do what you can. Buy a T-shirt, buy an album. Online. If you see somebody, or even if you can't, just share the post. Somebody might be able to help. So,
Right.
So absolutely.
Right, and listen, and support the stations that play the artists, stations like yours, programs like yours. Support your internet DJs and your mainstream DJs who are playing these artists, and call and request the band, call and request the artist, whether it be a single artist, a band, whatever, because you have to put support behind the people who are putting the support behind the artists, and that's you. Programs like yours and radio stations, we call the radio stations and request the artists, even if if they're an independent artist and they're not going to be playing on a mainstream radio station, call them anyways. That's the way you can help. You can help by generating attention for your favorite artists, whether it be local or what have you. That's the best way you can support them. Is it really boosts the morale of an artist when they check their website and they see that they've got a sale. That's what we work for. We want to share our music, and of course we want to make money, but you can't live on art alone. And it is a business, and a lot of people need to remember that, and that's the best way you can support them.
Absolutely, man. Before I let you go, Eddie, why don't you go ahead and promote your links, social media links, and where can people stream and purchase your music?
Oh, absolutely. You can find us at theeddytband.com. You can find us at Nashville Entertainment Weekly Records. We're at the Eddie T Band on Twitter. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And our music is available on CD Baby and Spotify and iTunes.
So everybody go check out the album that just came out, and go request "Angels Have to Fly" by the Eddie T Band on your country stations, spread or independent stations, whatever stations that are able to do so. Spread the word. This is a talented trio of musicians, and Nashville just continues to grow with so many talent, and I'm glad that I've run into artists like you fellas, and keep up the good work despite the trying times, and I appreciate you taking the time, and keep doing your thing, man.
Well, I appreciate you having us on the show, and we're just gonna continue to put out great music, and I'm just glad to be a part of such a great musical community, and we appreciate all the attention you're giving to these artists.
Absolutely, man. You have a good night. Have a good weekend.
All right, thank you. You too.